Hi there, I'm Rhonda, and I help makers turn their digital designs into income. On my channel, you'll get quick tutorials, cool tools, and simple strategies to grow your digital product business. If you want daily AI prompts, trend tips, and a fun community that gets it, join us in our AI Profit Society. I left a link in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing. And now, without any further delay, let's get into today's video.
Hey guys, it's Rhonda, and in this video we are back inside of Artistly. I wanted to talk with you a little bit about the photo to coloring page feature that Artistly V6 has. Now, you can use this absolutely to turn any photo into a coloring page, which is absolutely amazing. And that's what we're going to look at. And I just want to talk to you a little bit about different ways you can use these black and white coloring page images, once you have them. So first, let's look at the feature here. I'm inside of Artistly. Let's see, I went back here to my dashboard. I'm going to click on Create Design, and we're going to use the Fast AI Image Designer. And you'll find the photo to coloring page under AI Design Assistance. Okay, right there. And it's over here on your far right, the second one in from the end. So I'm just going to click on that, and it wants us to upload a image or choose one from our library. But for this, I'm going to take a photo, and I'm going to grab a photo of, here we go. This is a photo of one of my granddaughters and one of my grandsons. This is a super old picture, but anyway, we uploaded this photo, and I'm going to click Generate Image. Okay, and we're going to give it a second to do its thing. And there it is. It took that picture and turned it into a fun coloring page. So you could, let's say, business ideas, you could offer custom coloring pages to people. You could do bundles of them and offer these to sell. People who wouldn't love some custom coloring pictures from their own personal photos. Let's go in here and do another one. Let me grab, let's grab, okay, grab this as a, oops, too big. School photo from this year. Let's run that and see what that looks like. Now that came out pretty plain and simple. I wouldn't really call that one something you could use as a custom design, but it still did a great job of turning a basic school picture into a coloring page. All right, let's do something else here. Let's grab another photo. All right, here's another one. And that uploaded. Let's do this one. See how that one comes out. I mean, some of these, are really cute. That one, like I said, didn't come out quite as nice as I would have liked it, but it's AI. It happens. You're not always going to get perfection on every generation. That's one of the reasons I absolutely love Artistly, is because this was a pay once and done app. I am not paying monthly. I'm not paying for X amount of credits every month. And so I can afford to regenerate something when I need to. And there is the other picture, right into a coloring page, and that one came out really cute too. Now here's another way you could use these. All right, here is an image I did earlier. All right, and that is really nice. I like that. Came out really great as a coloring page. So let me show you. We're going to go here again, and I have just some designs I did a few weeks ago, and here they are. These are like Gothic style designs. So I'm going to drag this one over. It's like a raven's skull and lilies. And let's generate that. So you can make some really cool adult coloring pages with some of your previous image generations. It doesn't have to just be a photograph. It can be something you've already generated and designed, you know, for another purpose, another way to repurpose existing images and designs. So that looks pretty cool. I would probably open this up in another editing program and maybe thicken those lines up a little bit, but it came out really nice. Let me grab a couple more images and we'll give it a try, see how it does. But it is, like I said, it's just another way for you to take an existing image you've already generated, and maybe you made it into a clip art bundle, maybe you did it as a PNG for t-shirts or whatever. Now you have another way to use that same design that you've already done as another product. And here we did, here's a stamp design I did. So let's upload that and see how that one comes out. Now, besides coloring pages, these black and white drawings would be absolutely fantastic for SVG files, for laser engraving. You could have somebody send you a photo, and if they wanted just line art style engraving, you know, you can engrave a photo on a laser and have it look completely realistic, but you could also take images and turn them into line art like this and engrave them. This is the stamp that we did, and now that is a coloring page that looks great. But so there's a lot of different ways you can use this photo to coloring page feature, not just for coloring pages, basically. Like this stamp here. If I took this, in fact, let me copy this image, and I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but I just want to show you. This is my laser software that's opening now. Okay, and let me paste that image in here. No, I don't want to download it right now. And trace it, fade. Okay, so I took that image and I brought it into my laser software, okay? And this is now an engraved design. This will engrave if it's sent to my laser. So let's say I wanted to make a set of coasters. So let me make squares. Let me make them, what, 3.75 inches, right? And we would want our laser to cut it out, the shape of the coaster, so we would make that red. And I think I would want to round my corners a little bit, so I can do that. Alrighty, so now I have this coaster outline. Well, all I would have to do is take this really cool image that I just made, center it right there, and that is a coaster design for a laser engraver. And you could do that super easy with, here's a bunch of different stamps I had made for another project, but I could convert all of these into this black and white line drawing and sell it as a completely different product, as a bundle of SVGs for laser engraving. So let's do another one. Let's drop this ghost in here. and convert that. But, you know, I'm just trying to show you that think outside of the box. Don't automatically, yes, it says photo to coloring page, but just because it says coloring page doesn't mean that that's what you need to use it for. There are so many different ways that you can use this black and white line art for other things. So here we go. Here's another one. I'm just going to copy that. I'll paste it in here because my laser software does a fantastic job of tracing an image and turning it into basically a vector design for me. So let's copy that outline, and you could pop that in there, and you could do like 4 of these, and then you could sell this as a set of SVG files for laser cutting and engraving, a set of 4 coaster designs, something like that. You could eliminate the cut files completely and just bundle several designs similar to this together and call it a coaster set, engraving, whatever. But just think outside the box when you're using this photo to coloring page. It doesn't have to be a coloring page that it's used for, you know, once you have it converted. Is it great for that? You bet. You bet. And you can make such cute coloring pages. A few weeks ago, I know I did a video here using these Christmas geese, and I believe I showed you how you can take one set of prompts and turn them into 3 or 4 different products. A sheet of fussy cut images, a sheet of stickers for Cricut silhouettes, and then a PNG file for like on a t-shirt. So I already went over using the same designs for multiple products. So what we're going to do here is we are going to take these geese that we made for several other projects a few weeks ago, and now you can run them through this, and you have yet another product from that same set of designs you have already done, saving you time, saving you work, and making you able to get more products listed faster. All right, so let's see what our goose looks like. He should be coming up right there, and that is adorable. That is a great coloring page from our chimney sweep goose. Let's do another goose here. Let's do the Nutcracker drummer. Okay, and you know, now you could sell this as a bundle of Christmas goose coloring pages for kids. And even these type of images, they can be converted and vectorized and sold as black and white SVGs for laser cutting as well, or for Cricuts and silhouette machines. That is super cute. You could absolutely vectorize this, like I said, and I am going to do that here real quick. I'm just going to take it into my laser software, trace this image, and now I am left with the vector file. And you could bundle this up and sell it as a bundle of SVGs that people can cut on their Cricut, their silhouette, or for laser engraving, whatever you wanted. There's just so many different options now. You know, once you take your original design and turn it into a black and white image. Let's just do one more. I mean, I know I've shown it to you, get the idea, you know what you can do with it, but I just love this feature. It is so versatile. You bet. Coloring pages for kids, coloring pages for adults with, you know, your more intricate and adult-oriented designs. Take your designs you've made, turn them black and white, and now you can turn them into SVG files. You can vectorize them. If I were going to do that, I would make my images here in Artistly, all right? And I'm just going to run this through real quick for you, what I would do, what my workflow would look like if I was going to convert these to SVGs. I would open Kittl. This is probably outside of my laser software, which not everybody is going to have, obviously. Outside of my laser software, Kittl is my favorite for vectorizing. So I would come over here. I would just copy this image. I would paste it into an artboard in Kittl. First thing is I would remove the background just in case there was any in there that I wanted gone. And then I would simply come over here on the right and click vectorize, or while the image is selected right above it, I can click vectorize. One color, vectorize image. And now that is a vector file that I can resize as much as I want, as big as I want, and I'm not going to lose any quality. And once I have it vectorized, I would come over here to the right at the top, export as SVG, remove background, optimize quality, and click download. And I'm going to do this. Let's do Goose SVG. Go in there. Goose 1. And I would save that, and I can just drag that right into my laser software. There it is. And it's ready to go. Okay? Or into my cutting machine software, my Silhouette, my Cricut software. So if I was going to vectorize these for use on a laser or something like that, that's exactly how I would vectorize it. If I did custom pieces like this for people, I would copy this image. I would drop it into Kittl. Again, remove the background and vectorize. Single color, one color. That's all you want when you run the vectorize. And then I would make that bigger and export that again. SVG, remove background, optimize quality, and let's just do custom photo. And again, I could just open that right up inside of my laser software, or in my cutting machine software, and this could be cut in vinyl to apply to a mirror, to anything that someone might want to apply it to. They could use this as a template and etch this into glass. It would be, there's so many different ways that somebody could use this black and white vector file of a photo, you know, that you created for them. Let's say I decided I wanted to make coasters, just like we already talked about. I want to make it 3.75 inches. I want to round my corners. I know this is irrelevant to you. I'm just showing you what someone who has the laser, how they might use this, okay? And I might take this and put it in here, and I would probably want to make it so that looks pretty good there. I would duplicate this, and there we have it. There is a personalized coaster with a photo right on it. Then, you know, they could add names, they could do whatever they wanted. Again, I know this may seem irrelevant to some of you, but I'm just trying to give you new ideas for different ways that you can use images that you've already created by turning them into black and white line art. You know, this isn't just about coloring. Let's go here. Let me go into my library here and go down through here quick. Let's see. Let's see what else we have in here. Let's take this Christmas castle and convert that. And again, this would make a cute coloring page, but it could also be used for laser engraving, for Cricut silhouettes. There's just so many options for things like this. So don't get stuck inside of a box. Don't look at the photo to coloring page feature and think to yourself, well, I don't do coloring pages, so I absolutely would never use this feature and it's useless to me, because there's several other ways to do it. All right. And the other thing I like here is then you get the prompt. It gives you the prompt that it wrote when it converted your design. So, you know, really, guys, I've repeated myself a million times here now. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make sure that you understand there's more uses than just coloring pages. All right. There's a lot more ways that you can use this and integrate it into your Etsy shop for different products. Let me keep scrolling. Let's get down here to the bottom. Okay, here like this, if I ever get rabies, let's do that one. This would be a fun, it would make a fun coloring page. It would make a fun adult coloring page. You know, you could do that, but it might also be something somebody would want to cut with their Cricut or Silhouette. Might be something somebody might want to engrave with a laser, and it's just so versatile. So versatile. So here we go, right here into black and white. You can also just sell it like this as a black and white SVG that people can use to create stencils for silk screening. They could print this out in whatever color they wanted to for on a shirt, whether it be black and white. They could change the colors to red, to green, to blue, whatever they wanted. So keep that in mind. But that is the awesome photo to coloring page generator inside of Artistly V6. Okay, if you don't have Artistly yet, it is a one-time purchase. There are no monthly payments. So if you are paying for 3 and 4 different image generators, take a look at Artistly. Maybe it's for you, maybe it's not, but take a look at it. I have a link below for it. I will say, if you do buy it, buy the premium version. The lower version will not give you all the features, okay? Don't make that mistake. It might seem a little high priced, but again, it's a one-time purchase. It's not a monthly subscription, so it pays for itself very, very quickly. And again, like I said, maybe it's for you, maybe it's not. That's fine. But take a look at it. You know, what can it hurt? Alrighty, guys. So again, so many more uses for this photo to coloring page than just coloring pages. Okay? So if you have any questions, drop them below. I'll answer as soon as I can. If you're not seeing responses here quickly enough, feel free to join our community. I have that link below. There's always somebody around in there to answer questions, and I am in the community more than I am here on YouTube answering questions, you know, so sooner, somehow somebody will get back to you if you have questions. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time.